What's going on, everybody? It's your boy BrianDaddy coming at you with another video, and today we got the Nokhud Offensive on Mythic. This one's pretty neat. You actually have the ability to fly around with dragon riding, so make sure you get all the glyphs and level up your dragon riding so you're going to be able to move throughout this dungeon quickly. Each boss has 3 or 4 totems or areas that you have to clear in order to engage the boss fight. You can choose to go to any boss first, but the normal path appears to be Granith, Tempest, Maruk, and Balakar. So here we are clearing the Granith trash. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's 4 mobs here. You got the Lance Master, the Longbow, the War Spear, and the Horn Sounder. There's a lot of abilities, but mainly make sure you try to run away from War Stomp and get out of any ability that you can. Now you jump onto Granith. Granith's main ability here is when he reaches 100 energy. Takes about roughly 30 seconds, probably like 27 for him to hit 100 energy. And the only way to stop him from casting it is to use the Dragon Killer Lance.
Run.
Because if you let him do that, it's going to do massive AoE damage. It's able to survive it with cooldowns, but you really need to Dragon Killer Lance it, otherwise you just die. So here we go, we're about to fire it. You will see that it had a little indicator above it showing that this is the active Dragon Killer Lance, and you can see now it's on the opposite side over there. Also, there's going to be saboteurs that spawn, and they're going to try and damage your lances. So obviously, CC them, kill them, don't let them damage them, because every time your Dragon Killer Lance attacks the boss, it stuns him for 5 seconds and deals 5% of his health. And then you also have this eruption ability that you just want to make sure you don't get caught in. And yeah, make sure you kill or stun ads. Go to the Lance when he's casting eruption to interrupt, and you got a nice clean kill. Alright, and then you want to go ahead and, after this boss is down, fly up and make your way to the next zone.
Run.
Most people will choose the Raging Tempest area. You head there, you're going to have, again, 4 totems to clear. You clear the 4 totems. The mobs you're going to want to watch out for here are the mini bosses, the Boro, Arnya, Solonio, and Zorarli. They all got crazy names. Storm Speakers. Stormbolt is high damage to your tank. If you can interrupt it, do it. But the most important thing to interrupt is Tempest. It deals a massive amount of AoE damage to everyone and applies a stacking dot that's going to really make your healer have to do more work than they should have to. So keep on top of Tempest. That'll be very important when you hit higher key levels. And then you got Thunder Beasts. If you're going to see that as like a pat walking around the area, make sure you kill that as well. It's got Chain Lightning, and you just need to kill it. Storm Shield has a purge effect that you can basically purge off the Storm Shields on those mobs. Alright, now we get to the Raging Tempest. Basically, periodically, every player is going to get a lightning strike on them. It's kind of similar to the Quaking effect, except it's a lot bigger. You'll see it come up here in just a second.
Spread.
And right now. They also casted the lightning orbs. Okay, so you get everyone spread out. We're nice and spread there. That's a really good spread that we got. But we're also going to make sure you collect these orbs. These orbs give you increased damage and healing for 15 seconds, 5% every time, and it stacks. So it's actually very important that you do keep this buff up the whole time if you want to maximize your damage and healing. And at the beginning, there's not that many orbs, but towards here, you want to make sure you kind of make a pie wedge in the room, right? Have your 5 players each pick their side and pick up orbs.
Spread.
Our hunter there is a little bit too far out. He could have been getting more damage, but he's doing fine on damage on the damage meter. And yeah, make sure you don't stay under the boss to avoid being hit by the Raging Tempest. Also, if you aren't in his hit range, you'll see he casts this Windburst ability, so our Demon Hunter tank keeps leaping out to go get orbs. You don't really want to do that, because then, yeah, he'll start casting this Windburst on you, which does hurt, but he's a demon hunter, so you know, demon hunters are OP. Yeah, other than that, healers just when there's electrical storm phase, make sure you have cooldowns and you do big AoE healing. And dispel the buff energy surge as quickly as you can. You can see that it's on me, and he just dispelled it. So yeah, you did a good job. Alright, now you go ahead and fly towards the next area. This is going to be the Tira and Maruk trash. Again, 4 totems, clear them out. There's going to be these soul harvesters at each location. You're going to want to interrupt Deathbolt Volley. And also, once you see Shatter Soul cast, you're going to have to go find your soul. Right? And you'll see it happen to me here shortly. Right now. Boom. That little white beacon over there is my soul. I have to go collect it. But, you know, I think I was a little disoriented and I almost died to the birds. But yes, you want to go ahead and head towards your soul and collect it. It'll make you do more damage.
Target you.
And yeah, now we head towards Tira and Maruk after clearing all that away.
Shockwave.
So now, once you pull them, you are going to want to run away from the Frightful Roar, the Fear ability, that one right there. You know, any Fear immunities work, Berserker Rage, Tremor Totem, Cloak of Shadows, they all work. Now, Gale Arrow, this ability that she's about to cast, you're going to want to kind of position this away from the bosses. I would recommend kind of pulling this as far away as you can, all of your players, and kind of doing it all in the same, like, if you all go left, you all go right, whatever you choose, it'll make it easier. Then you won't have this happen where a bunch of people get knocked back because it's all underneath the boss mobs. Also, make sure you watch out for the pushback from Guardian Wind. It's uninterruptible, and so the faster you stop it, the better. Dodge his Earth Splitter at all costs. You have 2 seconds to avoid being hit by it. If you can't avoid it, remember that it's physical, so any immunities will help you survive. And also tanks, make sure you tank them both together because they'll take more damage, you can cleave, and on Mythic, if they're more than 20 yards away, they start gaining a damage buff for each second that they're away from each other. So, make sure you do that. When Brutalize is cast, make sure you use any mitigation as a tank. And healers, watch out for Tira's Quick Shot ability, because it does unavoidable damage to a DPS. And it can hit some DPS pretty hard. There you go. Knock them out. Alright, now you fly your way over towards Balakar Khan. You're going to kill some trash here. You got to make sure when you are flying over this direction that you will get dismounted from your dragon. So if you take the correct tornado path and then make your way in, you'll get further in and actually get to these 2 guys here at the door. Again, you will want to interrupt their fear ability. Watch out for cleaves. Get out of stuff that you shouldn't be in. The same old, same old. And then, once you pull this next pack, I believe this is one of the more dangerous packs. You have Nokhud War Spears, Thunder Fists, Houndsmen, Defenders. All of them have abilities. Make sure you still interrupt the fear. Make sure you stun and knock back and do everything you can to kind of keep them from casting. You got Rain of Arrows coming out of this guy. You got the fear coming out. You got the Storm Shock. Again, help your healer out. Help your tank out. DPS. I know you all want to see that damage meter go high. You just make sure you're interrupting. Alright. And then after you clear them out, you'll run to the 2 mini bosses, which is going to be Batak and Balara. If you choose to engage them, you don't have to. You must kill them simultaneously to avoid them getting a buff. And each of them has unique abilities under their belt. So Balara has Ravaging Spear at all times. And dodge Broad Stomp. It's a frontal cast from Batak. And beware of the Fahimit Charge as well. So there's the Stomp. It's a big AoE cone, about 20 yards. Just get out of that and you'll be good. Alright. Now let's move on to Balakar Khan. It's got a lot of things you want to keep an eye out for. But let's give you the TLDR. He has 2 phases, and the second one begins as soon as he reaches 60%. And during that phase, he will be immune to damage, and his 4 trusted minions, the Stormcasters, will be present. So you have to defeat them to complete the intermission to damage him again. He will cast Iron Spear on a random target from your party, followed up by an immediate charge to collect the spear. Iron Stampede as a common strategy is to bait the charge near a wall to shorten his charge. So I didn't do it correctly here because now he just charged all the way across the room, but ideally you should tank him near a wall and then just have him do a little short charge. Make sure you dodge upheaval right there and cracking upheaval at all costs because they do hurt a lot. And now you can see here we're hitting the intermission, and now we have to kill the Stormcasters. Make sure you interrupt the Stormbolt casts from them during the intermission. This will allow for better stacking on the mobs. If you have a DK tank, you're loving it because you can grip them all in and AoE them down. Alright, now tanks, make sure you pay attention to Rending Strike, as it leaves a nasty bleed effect and also increases the damage you take from Savage Strike by 500%. It is best to use mitigation or any sort of defensive at that moment when you get hit with Rending Strike. Do your best to stack the Stormcasters during the intermission to allow your team to effectively cleave. Healers, during the intermission, your entire team will take damage during that, and it will be Stormwinds, which is why you want to kill them as quickly as possible and pop some of your cooldowns during that phase. And yeah, make sure you dispel the Conductive Strike as quickly as you can. The Conductive Strike basically inflicts a crap ton of damage, and it'll increase the damage you take from the next Thunder Strike.
Watch your step.
There you go. Dodge everything, and you're good to go. Alright, everybody. Oh, look at that. We got a piece of loot, too. Alright, I just want to say thank you guys for watching and tuning in. Make sure you guys check out all my previous dungeon guide videos if you need help. And I will continue to keep pumping them out and giving you guys some tips and tricks along the way. And if you've made it this far in the video, go ahead and hit that like button. Leave a comment and tell me what your favorite pizza is. Catch you later. Peace.